Let me answer, man, one of the most asked questions that I get. Tyson, how long should it take you to get your first copywriting client? How long should it take you to start making money? I'm about to answer that once and for all. And by the end of this, you'll know exactly how long it should take you. And if you're behind, you'll be able to acknowledge, okay, look, I know I got to do something different. But don't worry, because I was literally behind myself. I was behind where I knew I should have been. So by taking the correct steps, I was still able to win and get out from my deficit that I was in. And I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do that, okay? Before we really get into the nitty gritty, I want to also address the elephant in the room. We are all starting from different places, right? Some of us are not as disciplined. Some of us are really used to being in school and are those bookworms who really just work on, getting really good grades and who work really hard already. Some of us are more lazy, but we want to actually start building our discipline. Some of us already have some business experience. Some of us already have some writing experience. Some of us, are younger. Some of us are 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 years old. Some of us still live with our parents. Some of us, English isn't our first language. So acknowledge if you have any of those factors. Some people might have advantages. Some people might have disadvantages. But at the end of the day, does it really motherfucking matter? Leo's 14 and he's making 4 figures a month, bro. I don't want to hear shit. Dude's 14. He's making you look like a bitch. He's making you look like a bitch, bro. So now I'm really going to go over the average standard of how long it should take you to get your first client, to start making some real money, to start scaling your income, and to start making it to 10K a month and beyond. Let's take it from, you're the person who doesn't even know anything about copywriting, and then you start to learn it. From week 0 being you don't know anything about copywriting to week 4, obviously you're not going to make much progress. Okay. We're talking about 1 month here. You're going to learn how to make copy. You're not really going to get it. You're going to do a lot of consuming and you're going to do a lot of practicing. And in this time, you're also probably going to start outreaching, and your outreach will be dog shit as well. You're like a fucking toddler. It's like you don't even know how to walk yet. You're like a baby. You can't get mad at a baby for being fucking stupid, because babies are just dumb. They don't know. They don't know any better. Month 1 to month 2, you will most likely learn the hard way that what you're doing doesn't work. I'm sorry to anybody who gets me to review their copy and they're not even like a month in yet, because I'm probably going to tear it up like a fucking eagle or some shit. I'm just going to tear that shit up. You'll understand that, hey, I'm just a beginner anyways, but I'm not doing a very good job. This is not a place that's going to feel good. You're going to get those angry responses. You're still probably not really going to know what you're doing or what you're talking about. You're really just, you're learning as you go. So don't really worry too much about it. Next is month 2 to 4. Now, month 2 to 4 is big because now your results are going to be very, very dependent on you. I show people in Copy Client Accelerator how to get their first $300 to $600 client or deal in the first 30 days of them joining. I'm going to say by month 2 to 4, you should probably have your first $300 to $600 deal. Again, guys, it's okay. If you've been doing it for 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, you haven't made any money yet, it's all right, man. Okay. I promise you it is all right. Because like I told you, I was behind. So next, 4 to 6 months. This is like the make or break point of most people. Either, you're starting at such a deficit that you're still not making much progress, or you haven't been as consistent as you'd like to be. Basically, if you're losing, right, most people aren't going to make it past 4 to 6 months. Realistically, in your first 4 to 6 months, you should have some sort of retainer and probably be making like around 4 figures, probably. And by the end of this part, you're going to know exactly what you should be doing, okay? Because I'm going to help you out. I'm not just going to tell you, yo, you're up, you're behind the curve, and you just not know what to do, okay? Right? That's because at this point, you should have experience. A lot of people start out with copywriting and they're like, yo, I want to make my first 2 to 4K a month. And it's like, okay, cool. But in Copy Client Accelerator, I tell you guys 100 times, bro, it's not about skipping steps. A lot of people want to skip the free trial client and they want to skip their first, $200 to $400 client and get straight to the $1,000 retainers. No. That's not how we do it, bro. We go through all the steps, but we go through the steps quickly with Copy Client Accelerator. We break it down into smaller goals, okay? Here's how you get your first free client. Here's how you get your first $300 to $600 client. Here's how you get your first retainer client. And of course, here's how you start scaling your income. We focus on speed running each section individually. Break it down into smaller sections. That's a long-winded way of saying that from 4 to 6 months, you should be making your first 4 figures. Now, fast forward to 6 to 9 months. There's going to be 3 main groups of people. There are going to be winners, there are going to be survivors, and there are going to be losers. So the losers are going to be the ones who give up or get discouraged and start half-assing shit and then give up later on down the line. You know, they haven't had any success, right? But that's not what makes them a loser. What makes them a loser is that they're getting discouraged and they're not looking for new information. They're not still hungry. Then next we have survivors, okay? Survivors at the 6 to 9 month mark are people who maybe they have got like a free client here or there, or they've only made like a little bit of money and they're still hurting. To be 100% honest with you guys, this was me. I had only made my first couple $100. I wasn't winning like that. It was discouraging, but I was still learning. Right? And then next up, we have winners. These are the people who are now making like 4 to 6K a month. And those are the people who quit their job and they're really out here doing it, right? You should be able to get like multiple 4 figures, like living up the life of like an actual full-time copywriter in 6 to 9 months. So after that 6 to 9 months, so that 12-month range, right? That's where the winners now, not only are they making 4K from a client, they're probably working like 20 to 40 hours a week to make that high 4-figure income or 5-figure income. It's like they're making like probably 6 to 10K and they're obviously, you know, loving life. Now you know if you are behind or not. So just to recap, you should make money in your first 3 months or have your first free client or whatever. You should get a retainer client that's paying you, 4 figures a month, probably by, month 4 to 5, maybe even 6 months, right? And by 7, 8, and 9 months, you should have enough leverage to, quit your job and start making that, 3K a month, 4K a month, somewhere around there. And then after that, like the 9, 10, 11, 12 month mark, that's where you should be probably, reaching your 6 figures and making a lot of money, right? Now, some people do it quicker. Like, for example, even Zenos, bro. Like Zenos, it only took him 60 days or something to start making 10K a month. Like that shit was pretty nuts. He was the guy who showed up all the time. He was the guy who always put in the work. So if you're behind the curve, acknowledge it. Look, I'm behind, right? I should probably be making a little bit more money right now. I should probably be doing a little bit more. What should I do? Okay, well, the first thing that I did was expand your knowledge. The fact of the matter is, you're probably doing enough, but you're not doing enough of the right shit. You probably just don't have the information that you really need, right? It's a huge misconception that I see a lot of beginners have. They're like, what's the magical outreach method that's gonna make me 10K a month? And the fact is, it's not a motherfucking outreach method. It's so much more than that. Get more information, right? So that's the first thing, to get more information. The second thing that I started doing is I started rapid testing. So while you might have the right information, you also got to know what's going to work for you, because what worked for Joe Schmo down the street might not be the same thing that works for you. What you can do is be like, all right, cool, I'm gonna put it to the test. But you put it to the test rapidly. And man, this is something I've been harping for a long time. The only way that you can rapid test and find out if something works or not is if you keep track of it, is if you track it and then track another thing and then figure out which one actually works. It's like, bro, get the fuck out there and figure it out. Get the fuck out there and do it, right? And that's another thing that I show you guys inside of Copy Client Accelerator. I literally give you a scorecard that automatically calculates your rates. So by learning more and doing rapid testing, it's going to help you make up that lost progress. So put in the hard work and actually do what you say you're gonna do. Because guys, I could sit here and tell you and give you the motherfucking formula, but the formula is useless if you don't got the work to actually put it into motion. There is literally 9, 10, 11 hours of resources that I just recently put in the Discord. If you're not watching every single one of them, then you're irresponsible. You're not really fucking about it. This stuff is literally out here for free. It doesn't cost you anything but the time. Just do those 3 things if you're behind, and I promise you're not going to be behind for very long.